Since it was enacted in 2016, information and training about the Produce Safety Rule of the Food Safety Modernization Act, FSMA, has been made available to farmers. However, there are still queries regarding proper farm worker training. In this video, we will address the most commonly asked questions regarding produce safety farm worker training.
Hi, my name is Indu Upadhyay. I'm the Assistant Extension Educator from Yukon Extension for Food Safety, and I'm here today with Bruce.
Hi, I'm Bruce Grezik from Grezik Farms in New Hartford, Connecticut, and I want to ask Indu some questions about the Food Safety Modernization Act and the Produce Safety Rule as it pertains to training my workers. So my first question is, if my farm is not covered or if I fall under the provisions of the qualified exemption, do I still need to train my workers?
No matter if your farm is covered or not covered, exempt or not exempt, training your employees in good food safety practices is a good business technique. Even if your farm is not covered or exempt, you cannot sell adulterated food. Contaminated food is actually adulterated food, so you cannot sell that. It is possible that you might lose your exemption if an outbreak occurs due to your product. Therefore, it is in best interest of the farmer that they train their personnel in proper food safety practices. Now, if you have more questions regarding Produce Safety Rule itself, the exemptions and coverage, then please contact us or your extension educators, and we can help you navigate through those.
So what exactly does the rule say about training?
The rule says that any person who handles covered produce or food contact surfaces must have training in a manner that complies with the Produce Safety Rule. This applies to part-time workers, temporary workers, family members, or volunteers that come on the farm to work. Now, training also needs to be an ongoing effort and not a one-time process. What this means is once you hire a person, you train them and then continue to train them thereafter at least once annually. In addition, if the farm manager or the farmer sees that the farm workers are not following proper food safety practices, then they need to train them more often.
What else does the rule say about who should be training my workers?
A person who has knowledge regarding proper harvest, post-harvest, and handling practices is the best person to train other farm workers. So one way to ensure that the person has the knowledge is to ask them to attend the Produce Safety Alliance grower training course. For example, yourself, you have been through the course and also helped teach it. You would be an ideal candidate to train your farm workers. If more information is required with regards to food safety training of workers, then extension educators like me can help you with it as well.
Okay, so I know I need to train my workers, but where do I begin? Like what type of training or information is there for me to use and teach them?
Many farmers like yourself, they know that they need to train their employees in basic health and hygiene practices in order to minimize food safety risks. This includes asking them to come in clean clothes, washing their hands after they have gone to the restroom, washing their hands after eating, before they start work. Basically, anytime that they think their hands might have contaminated, for say if they're sneezing or coughing or working with soil or handling animals and other practices, make sure they're washing their hands. Also, please make sure to stress upon them that they need to come to work only if they're healthy. If they have any symptoms such as fever, vomiting, diarrhea, other related illnesses, then they should inform the supervisor and they should stay at home. They might say, well, I feel fine to work, I'm feeling good, but if the symptoms still exist, then there could be a risk to spreading the infection to healthy workers as well. So ask them to stay at home.
So we've always kind of done that type of training, but the rule asks us to do more than that, right?
Yes, so the rule requires that a farm worker is trained specifically in the job that he does on farm. For example, if he or she is involved with harvesting, then you train them in safe harvesting practices. If this person is involved in washing produce, then what is the best way of doing that and minimizing food safety risk as well? If someone is involved with mixing sanitizers, then what is the best procedure to do that? So these are the things that you train your farm workers.
So once we've done all this training, what type of records are required by the Produce Safety Rule to document this training?
The Produce Safety Rule asks for records that document that training was conducted And the details that need to be in those records are date of the training, the topics that were covered, and the personnel who were given that training. So you can use any kind of format that works for you, but this information needs to be there. And all the training that you have done needs to be documented, and the records should be kept for those. Even if you're exempt, it makes sense to keep these records. It shows your due diligence and commitment towards food safety risk. And if there's ever a question regarding a product in future, then these records help answer that question as well. Also, please remember that records have to be kept for any training that is being done on farm, not just the basic food safety training or the employee health and hygiene training.
So I understand documentation is really important, but what exactly will an inspector be looking for?
So the inspectors will look for all the records of training that you have. In addition to records, the inspectors may also observe your farm workers to see if they are following proper food safety practices. For example, if a worker's gone to the restroom or gone to the porta potty, did he or she come out and wash their hands? In addition, the inspectors may also ask questions to your farm workers just to see what they know and they don't know.
So where can I find more information regarding how to train my workers?
University extension programs such as UConn is a great resource. In addition, Produce Safety Alliance and NECAPS, which is Northeast Center to Advance Food Safety, they have very good resources for training workers on hand washing, cross-contamination training, harvest practices, post-harvest practices, cleaning and sanitation practices. So training on all of those are available on NECAPS, especially in Food Safety Clearinghouse. You can also find link to the training and resources at the end of this video.
We thank Bruce Grezik from Grezik Farms for being part of the video. If you have questions regarding food safety training or the Produce Safety Rule itself, please visit the UConn Extension Food Safety website. For a start-to-finish video on training farmers, please visit Produce Safety Education at UConn Extension Food Safety.